Alright then, it's major government mistakes. Let's see, they say missed live. Didn't have you on during the whole time I was watching the rest of the video. Sorry. My bad. Let's see. There's people sleeping upstairs.
Government wants to do good things for people, help the Indians, protect the forests and so forth. The planners always have such good intentions. But again and again, their plans make much of life worse. In the name of helping the poor, look at what the housing department's done. After spending billions on public housing, many families have been helped. But too often, public housing looks like this.
It's bug infested, it's mice infested.
At housing projects all around America, elevators don't work, repairs aren't made.
This has been like this for, I would say about 2 months now.
At this St. Louis building, an alarm sounds 24 hours a day. With no security and no locks, they just leave the doors wide open. Now, every administration has said they'll do better. Both the current and last administration said they want to do more.
Let's help you build a better life for you and your family.
For years, Housing Secretary Andrew Cuomo has handed out giant checks and issued press releases saying Cuomo makes the American dream achievable. Cuomo awards $10 million. How arrogant. It's not Cuomo's money, it's your money.
Let me give you a safe, clean, decent place to live.
Did he? So often, public housing has locked poor people into crime-ridden ghettos with problems so intractable the government later just blows the buildings up. In St. Louis, Chicago, Baltimore, Newark, our government destroys the very things they once held out as the solution. Why do these projects fail? Some housing officials have said it's not the government's fault, the tenants are the problem. Many won't pay their rent. They vandalize their own buildings. But if the tenants are the real reason public housing is in such sorry shape, how do you explain what happens when you get the government out? This apartment complex is in the middle of one of the poorest sections of New York City. Unlike so much public housing, it's very clean and well maintained. There are playgrounds filled with happy children. It didn't used to be like this. When this was a public housing project, living here was hell. There were some 4,000 broken windows. The elevators wouldn't work for months at a time.
This place was a shambles. It looked bad, it felt bad, it even smelled bad.
Residents say the government just let the project decay. When Brian Lewis took over as building manager,
half the place had no heat, half the place had no gas, 10 broken sewer mains.
the government put in new boilers, says Lewis, but hooked them up wrong.
In 5 years, those brand new boilers were gone. That's an example of not caring, because it's not their money. Are we doing it right? Well, who cares? We got the money, we're putting it in. I did my job, because my job was put in the boilers. And that's the way they work.
And that's the way it is. Let's see. The community building, sorry, I cut you off.
Think change.
Why? What's the difference? This is the business here. So how do you make your business success?
You know
There's a
what?
good reputation.
There we go. Okay. So let it run. Just gonna skip to the next.
And then there was the crime.
We identified 132 apartments that were controlled by drug dealers.
They had nicknames for this place like New Crack City, Ambush Alley. That's what they called passageways like this because people were so scared they didn't walk through, they ran through. That was when it was a government project. Now a private developer runs it and is doing all kinds of odd things, like bringing in musicians to work with the kids, giving karate lessons, building a new playground.
For the first time in, a lot of years, they had children running around in that park, playing on the climbing facilities, going down the slides. You had mothers there with baby carriages. I just looked at it and I said, you know, this is becoming a community again.
Under private management, everything changed.
Why? What's the difference? This is the business here. So how do you make your business a success? You find out what your customers need and you cater to them.
Right.
You give them the things they need to make them continue to be good customers.
but they do give to their customers. We got narco-terrorists and people in Afghanistan and others we give a lot of money to. They give plenty of help. Need a couple $100 million, no problem. A couple billion, no problem. We'll take a walk through America with me. Dilapidated bill. Let's go to Detroit. We're going to Michigan. Detroit, Michigan. One plant closes down and so does the entire city. Alright. We got fancy, we got Detroit City Council hearing amid a shouting match. Oh, let's see this. This could be gritty.
Yeah, and I say that because I think that's important because, I mean, I could say it's my view that it's okay to murder somebody, but we all know that murder is against the law.
Yeah, no, this is based on
I did say
Several,
based on your
all due respect, President Pro Tem, I have.
No, I just want to say, I said
Well,
based
you
on
just,
experience.
well, you just jumped on another council member about interrupting.
You
and I
did
didn't
attack
want you to
me, and I didn't attack you.
I have the floor.
We know. No, you do. But I said based upon the years.
I have the floor, President Pro Tem. I don't want to hear you
And
anymore.
you don't have to hear me. We don't have to hear you.
Then be quiet because I'm speaking and I'm asking
You
a
do that at
question.
home, not here.
I'm not your father, but I am the president, and right now I have the floor.
Because I'm tired of that. Be respectful. You may not do that at home, but you're going to do it up in
Stop
here.
interrupting.
Stop interrupting. Don't act like we're at home, honey. Because you know at home you ain't getting none. You keep talking like this here. No, they're not a couple. These are city council members. Having a battle. That's a cat fight and a dog. He was asking a question. She asked a question. And he could have just answered her or said, shh, shh. Talking, you know, shh. No, don't put your hand in my face, fool. Don't be bold. No, man, I'm gonna respect you. We ain't at home, fool. See, at home they'll get me for spousal abuse.
You grow up. Control your house, and you know how to treat other women better.
To the last one.
Ooh, there's a lot of women there. He's outnumbered. I'd start kissing some butt if I was him.
The first one that called you Shrek.
Right.
The first one that called, don't disrespect me. Order of the day.
I will call this to adjourn it.
She just called him Shrek. Shrek.
And do it, baby. Do it. Move to adjourn. Do
We're
it.
gonna take a brief recess.
Do
That
it.
is quite unprofessional behavior. This battling. This woman needs to be. Excuse me, ma'am. He was asking a quick. Can you leave? Don't turn it into a woman issue and try to get all the women behind you. I saw you played that gender game there. Yeah, he was asking a question here. Let's just back up. Let's review this. What do you think? What do your eyes see? What do your ears hear?
Quiet because I'm speaking.
Wait, let's back up.
All due respect, President Pro Tem, I have the floor. It's my view that it's okay to murder somebody, but we all know that.
Okay, he's talking to this gentleman here. There's questioning going on. He's giving him, question here. Now look what happens.
Law.
yeah, no, this is based on
I did say
Several, all due respect, President Pro Tem, I have.
Now she jumps in, she wants to start asking questions. Now you'll see this in Congress when somebody is asking a question or answering a question, somebody asks a question. The other person begins to answer, and then somebody else stands up and says, I don't think you should answer that question, and don't want the cameras around. I'm gonna keep reminded of cameras. So, but this is a different scenario. This is where she wants to jump in and take control and ask questions instead of taking her turn. And then he asks her to please not get involved. And no! She is acting very non-professional behavior here, huh?
I just want to say I said
Well,
based on experience.
you just jumped on another council member about interrupting and now
You
you're going
attacked
into
me and I didn't attack you.
And then that lady said, sure did. Right? The lady said, sure did. So she's got to look for a way to get people on her side. She's looking at all women, so she goes in to the women issue.
I have the floor.
We know you do, but I said based upon experience.
I have the floor, President Pro Tem. I don't want to hear you anymore.
And you don't have to hear me. We don't have to hear you.
Then be quiet because I'm speaking and I'm asking
You
a
do that at
question.
home, not here.
I'm not your
Okay?
father, but I am the president, and right now I have the floor.
Because I'm tired of that. Be respectful. You may not do that at home, but you're gonna do it up
Stop
in here.
interrupting.
You grow up. Control your house, and you know how to treat other women better.
You're the last one to talk.
I'm the
And treat other women better. She's like, oh yeah, got all these women here to defend me. They'll all be on my side. But this lady was not on her side. Okay, anyway. So what you saw? Okay, that's what I saw. Thank you very much.
and you know how to treat other women better.
Other women.
I'm the first one to
Come on,
talk
man.
to Shrek.
I
Shrek, the first one to talk. Don't disrespect me. Order of the day.
will call this to adjourn if you
Do it, baby.
Order.
Do it. Move to adjourn. Do
We're
it.
going to take a brief recess.
We have an out of control member on the board.
Do it.
It's
Cause
done.
y'all not gonna disrespect me up here.
You're the one that just interrupted me.
No, I did not. You tried to say did I say based upon your years of service? Woo, Lord. That's grown up here.
Woo! It's hard to copy her. It's too, it's just, out of control. Out of control behavior. Oh no, you ain't gonna tell me. Oh no, this, whoa, out of order, Shrek, name calling, we're gonna have to take a recess. We have an out of control member here. Alright, let's get back to Detroit, Michigan's economy. Detroit. Economy. Going Michigan. Yeah, honey, you got your seatbelt on? Going to Michigan. Pack up the car, pack up the kids, we're going to Michigan. Woohoo! Detroit, Dine City. The red, white, and economic blues.
For months now, CBC News has been bringing you a series of reports we're calling The Bottom Line. Stories of Canadians searching for solutions in challenging economic times. And they're needed. Just look at the news about GM and Chrysler. A perfect example of how our fortunes are tied to the failing fortunes in the United States. So tonight, we're taking our bottom line south for a look at red, white, and the economic blue.
See, we have to go to Canada for our news.
Just how bad is it now? Well, let's look at what's happened to the Motor City, Detroit. The auto industry and the city have been under assault for decades. Now, the recession and what could be a knockout punch. The big three U.S. car makers lost more than $52 billion last year. The CBC's Mark Kelly went looking for how all of this is affecting Detroit. What he found? Well, we've never seen anything like it before.
Really gone. Detroit may be known for Motown, but these days, it's got the blues. Just ask Glimmy Del Beasley. Born on a plantation, Glimmy came here 51 years ago looking for something he'd never seen. A paycheck.
My check was $136. I've never in my life seen $100 bill, $50. Never. Never. Oh, we was poor. Very poor.
Raised poor, he's gone back to being poor. The paycheck, like the thrill, is gone. So he's relying on a skill he learned on the plantation, hunting raccoons and selling the meat to survive. And lately, business has been brisk. He sells one for 15,
Where you keep the coons?
two for 25.
They got a freezer full of them.
I had 100 coon. Yeah, no, that's what I got there.
You did very good.
Yeah, done real good.
Simply put, as bad as the economy is in America today, it's worse in Detroit. How bad? As I would discover, worse than you can imagine. As the big three automakers slash jobs, unemployment has climbed to 22%. Once home to 2 million people, only 800,000 are left in Detroit.
That one's boarded up right there. This one coming up down here is wide open.
Those downward forces have combined to create one growth industry, foreclosures.
Here's a foreclosure right here. Here's a foreclosure right here.
Mike Shannon sells foreclosed homes in Detroit.
This neighborhood, look at, you can see the bushes. There's been a lot of, the people kept the houses up really nice. And it was rare that you'd ever see a house sell less than $100,000 in this neighborhood. And right now, you can purchase homes in here for $5,000 or $10,000.
And as I learned, that isn't bad. Median home price in Detroit, less than $6,000 and sinking as foreclosures flood the market.
So after the sheriff takes this notice to the door, they come back over and evict the people. And everything they own in the house will be placed out at the curb, and in 24 hours, a truck will come and take it away, and it's gone.
How far can the market fall? Well, take a look. This is what happens to an economy in a prolonged death spiral. Homes are foreclosed, then abandoned. Then come the looters.
Countertops been taken. Countertops been taken.
Anything with any value of whatever was in here.
Back door's gone.
Sink,
Gone.
windows, gone.
Ceiling's completely collapsed.
Asking price for this fixer-upper? $900. Though Mike tells me he'd let it go for $5.
And if it doesn't sell it at not at $500, then that's going to go down to $400.
Sold for $500.
$300, $250, $1.
That's what a $400,000 house has been reduced to due to the economy. How much are you paying for your house right now? Sold! You selling your house for $500? $500.
You think it's possible this house could sell for $1?
Yes. It's very possible.
And there are houses going for $1 in Detroit.
Yes. Hundreds.
You can buy a house for $1. How to get rich quick. They'll tell you on those infomercials. No money down. $1 houses. Welcome to the American economy. Frightening, isn't it? Where your house was once worth $400,000, drop down to $200,000, drop down in value. Still, you're paying for the $400,000 price to the bank. Jobs gone, no economy. $1 houses. $1. Dollar holla houses.
Hundreds of
Dollar holla.
And it would be similar to this.
I don't even know if it's a deal for $1.
Mike says out-of-state buyers are snapping up homes here in bulk, turning them into rental properties, keeping these neighborhoods on life support, waiting for the stimulus to stimulate. And if it doesn't, this happens. Neighborhoods die. A local journalist, Detroit blogger John, brought me here to show me what years of decline have done to Detroit.
Well, this used to be called Pole Town. It was a Polish enclave in Detroit. About 200,000 people here, and it was a working class area of the city. The immigrants flooded this area to get auto jobs.
Today, this neighborhood, like much of Detroit, is empty. In fact, 120 square kilometers of the city are vacant, an abandoned area bigger than Vancouver. Not entirely empty, though, as we watched a car approach us, slowly. Turns out it was the police, with a warning.
A lot of cracked engineering, a lot of dope houses. So keep an eye out for them.
Blogger John says Detroit, once the envy of America, now embodies everything that's wrong with it.
This is an area that has been hit with every urban ill you can think of. We've had white flight, you had a riot, deindustrialization, and as people left, the houses crumbled or burned, and what you see now is just a prairie, and into this, all the wildlife from up north has moved in, and so we have pheasants, we've had coyotes, we have raccoons, we have packs of wild dogs, but it's only 5 miles outside of downtown.
Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna cut to another video.